Okay.
So
we're
Tiago.
pretty much on the transition between Gaivosa and Douro Valley, and here we can see, well, like some of the key elements of the viticulture and grape growing in the Douro Valley, and at the same time some of the key elements of the Douro Valley as well. So for example, if we look back there, we have the mountains, the Marão, and so Marão, it's like a chain of mountains, and that acts like a natural barrier to the Atlantic wet winds, so creating the climate conditions here to be much warmer and drier than it could be. Because, for example, well, Portugal is always a quite narrow country, and if we think that we're always quite close to the sea, in straight line it will be about like 100 miles, not much more than that. Well, but here we don't have any kind of Atlantic influence, and if we think about our neighbors in Vinho Verde, for example, in Minho, well, you see immediately a completely different landscape. It's much greener, and it does reflect in the wines that they make. It's lighter, and they focus a lot on the whites. So here it's basically the Marão that creates these conditions of dry and really warm temperatures. And well, at the same time we can see here also the different stages of the grape growing. So, for example, this kind of terraces that we're in now, we call it patamares. So it was the first attempt to mechanize our vineyards and our viticulture in the Douro Valley. So the idea was to create like an horizontal plateau where we could already pass a small tractor to make some of the operation over the year. It's still always a partial mechanization because most of the operations need to be done by hand, special harvest, but it does help already. And this started especially in the around the 70s, when people started to immigrate, and it was difficult to find people to work in the vineyard. So there was this need to mechanize a little bit our viticulture. But as you can see, it does have a very big impact on the landscape. It changes not only the landscape, because you always have like the embankment between the two different terraces, but also it changes a little bit the profile, the natural profile of the soil. So,
because it contributes more to soil erosion. Or...
This one, even so, it can work quite well if we respect the natural water lines. It does work quite well in terms of erosion. Okay. But for example, after this, as we saw that it changed a lot and we lost a lot of soil, we started to go to other systems, and we can see over there on the top those kind of vertical vineyards. We can call it, it's like the German system is always also known as the German system, as the same as they have in the Mosel. And that was like a second attempt to mechanize our vineyards, and there we can still use the small tractor to make some of the operations.